Good morning, Year 7s. It's Mr. Chen-Ke here. I wanted to make a quick video for you guys today, walking you through the Edward Scissorhands cat, which we will start this week and then finish off next week online through remote learning. Let me just move my head aside. There we go. Okie dokie. So you guys might be wondering, what is the cat going to be about? And I think you guys would all have a pretty good understanding of a lot of the key concepts that you'll be assessed on, because that's what we've essentially been doing for the last 2 weeks. So the cat will be a scene analysis essay, and it's going to be anywhere between 400 to 600 words in length. And in this scene analysis essay, you're going to present your interpretation and analysis of a scene from Edward Scissorhands, and I will choose that scene. So I'm going to choose a short scene, probably anywhere between 3 to 5 minutes from the film, and you will have to present an interpretation and analysis of that scene. You're going to specifically analyze how Tim Burton, the director of Edward Scissorhands, uses different film techniques to impact and affect the audience or create a specific impact on the audience. But you're also going to analyze how Tim Burton uses specific techniques to convey meaning about the characters, the themes, and the settings in Edward Scissorhands. Here is a bit of a timeline for the cat. So we will begin the cat on Friday, June 4th. So that's this week. And you're going to have this period to plan the essay. And I'm going to walk you guys through how to do that later on today. Next Monday, June 7th, during period 4, you will have the period to begin writing your scene analysis essay. And in the next period, I'm going to walk you guys through how you can actually write a scene analysis essay. And then on Tuesday, June 8th, you're going to have this period to finish writing your scene analysis essay, but also just to submit it to the Compass Learning task titled Sem 1 Cat Edward Scissorhands Scene Analysis Essay. So the learning task will be due at the end of period 3 on Tuesday. With that being said, you can work on this cat in your own time. What I will ask the Year 7s is you don't use other classes' time, like your maths or science or humanities classes' time, to work on your English cat. Please only work on this cat in the scheduled English lessons, and if you want, maybe do a little bit after school or over the weekend if you feel the need to. But please do not overwork yourselves, and remember, this is simply just one assessment task of many this year. So yeah, make sure you are following this timeline. Okay, so you might be thinking, oh man, we've learned about so many film techniques. Which ones will I have to remember or know about for this cat? Well, you have essentially 5 key categories of film techniques. We started off this unit by learning about camera angles, so things like high angle shots, low angle shots, bird's eye view, eye level shots, or the neutral shot, or the neutral angle, I should say, and also point of view shots. You also need to know your shot types, so things like close-ups, establishing shots, and long shots. You also need to know the difference between diegetic and non-diegetic sounds. Remember, diegetic sound is sound that comes from within the world of the film. So for example, 2 characters talking to each other would be diegetic sound, whereas non-diegetic sound is sound that is edited into the film after the actual scenes have been shot. So things like the soundtrack of a film, music, and also sound effects. You also need to know about lighting and color. So remember high key and low key lighting. So high key being this really bright, even range of lights, no shadows. In contrast, low-key lighting being, really dark lighting, lots of shadows, a lot of contrast between light and dark as well, and also natural lighting. You also need to consider colors and lighter and darker shades of colors and their connotations. What kinds of emotions are conveyed or elicited through different colors and different lighting techniques. And last but not least, you need to know about mise-en-scene. Remember, mise-en-scene is the French word that literally refers to everything that we can see in front of us at one time in a movie. And remember, mise-en-scene is broken up into 2 parts. The first is production design. So you'll have to analyze the location of the scene, the costumes that the characters are wearing, makeup, and also props, so the objects that they use in the scene. And also composition and framing, so how everything is positioned in a frame, including characters, furniture, everything that you can see in a frame and how it's sort of positioned and arranged. So think about relationships. How are the characters' position in the frame to give us an indication of their relationship to each other. Are they friends? Are they intimate partners? Are they enemies? Think about size as well. What is big in the frame and what is small? And also balance. Is it a balanced frame with lots of sort of elements on both sides? Or is it a bit of a sort of chaotic frame? Yeah? Okay. Here's the big one, Year 7s, and I think this is the one that this is the aspect of the cat that I really wanted to emphasize in this video. So for your cat, you're going to be writing a scene analysis essay, and absolutely, the first dot point there, you will need to identify film techniques that are evident in your chosen scene. So yes, you still need to have a very good knowledge of all the different film techniques that we just talked about. However, the most important thing is that you actually analyze the impact and the effect of these film techniques on the audience. So you want to consider, why has Tim Burton used these film techniques and how do they sort of affect us, the viewer, the audience watching the film? Does it make us scared? Does it elicit an emotion such as happiness, or does it make us sort of anxious to know what's going to happen next? But also think about the impact and the effect of film techniques on characters as well. Does it change the way that we, the viewer, view a certain character or view a certain moment in the film? And then finally, you want to consider the director's message. So what's Tim Burton trying to say to the audience or show us, the audience, through this scene? What's his message? And this is where you might want to bring in a sort of a discussion about the themes in the film. So what's he trying to say about the theme of conformity, acceptance, rejectance, loneliness and isolation? So this is a really important aspect of your cat as well. So remember, if you've identified film techniques, fantastic, but you've only done 50% of the job. You need to tell me the effect of these film techniques on us, the audience, but also you need to analyze the director's message as well. Which brings me to impact and effect. I just wanted to again emphasize that it's not enough to simply identify film techniques. All of you guys, for example, would be able to identify lots of camera angles and shot types. You have to consider the impact and effect. So if you look at these two examples, I have taken little sort of stills or screenshots from two superhero movies. So look at that high angle shot of Thor and Captain America from the Avengers movie. We know that that's a high angle shot, there's no doubt about it. But if you just wrote in your scene analysis essay, oh, in this scene there's a high angle shot, it's filmed from above the characters, thanks. That's not enough. You actually have to analyze the effect or the impact that this high angle shot has on the audience. So you could write something like Thor and Captain America look very vulnerable, almost as if they're scared of what is above them. And it makes the superheroes look small, minuscule. Therefore, the bad guy or the villain that they're battling must be super powerful. Similarly, if you look at that low angle shot of Batman, we know it's a low angle shot because the camera is positioned below Batman, but you have to analyze the impact or effect. So you might want to say something like, Batman looks big, he looks defined and powerful. Even in the midst of chaos, all that debris sort of behind him that's been blown up, the fire in the apartment block behind him, Batman still appears to be in control and confident in his abilities. So it's really important that you analyze the impact and the effect of film techniques and not just identify them. Alright, so on the final slide here, I've just included a glossary of different terms that you might want to use. Most of these are film techniques, so things like low-key lighting, diegetic sound, music, costume, but I've also included words here that are related to themes and related to sort of analysis that you might want to try use in your scene analysis essay as well. So themes like conformity, loneliness, stereotype, acceptance, but also remember to keep referring to the impact and the word effect. Alrighty, so Year 7s, hopefully you found this video helpful and hopefully you have a better idea of what you will be assessed on for the upcoming Edward Scissorhands cat. In the next part of this lesson, I'll be walking you guys through how to structure a scene analysis essay and how to plan a response as well. So I hope you guys found this video helpful. Again, if you have any questions, flick me an email or comments on our Google Classroom. Thanks so much, Year 7s. Bye-bye.